Hey guys, so I wanted to hop on here and show you how I do my daughter's boxer braids for her cheer competitions. I was a terrible braider when I first started. It literally took me all summer to practice. As soon as I knew that was the hairstyle, I just tried and tried again. So if you are not a braider, don't let that stop you. You can become a boss braider. So I just want to share a few tips that I've learned along the way. The first thing is have them get their hair completely wet. So have them jump in the shower really quick and then just towel dry it when they're done. The second tip is use hair gel. This one right here I get on Amazon. It's just a little tub. I think it's under $5 and it works really well, especially if you're going for the competition look. If you are just doing it for fun, like on yourself, you could just use any type of slick pomade, just anything to get the flyaways. That was the biggest game changer for me because when I wasn't using it, she had all these little baby hairs that were sticking up everywhere and it just was not the clean polished look that we were going for. I just recently put some of that gel in this little squeezy tube from Target because we went to Indianapolis for a cheer competition, and so I actually like it coming out of the squeeze rather than the other. And then the last thing that you're gonna need is one of these brushes. It has a pick side on this side, which is what I use to section every single piece of hair. And then this side will help you smooth out any bumps or things that you get along the way. So that's pretty much it as far as materials. And then just 2 elastics for the pigtails, and that's it. Okay, so I start by obviously just parting all the way down the middle. I'm making sure that there's a straight line. Get this out. And then just tie this one to the side. Let's turn to the side a little bit. Okay, so for the gel, what you're gonna do is just take I just do maybe a dime size amount and I rub it together and I really just kind of brush it along the hairline. And then I take any extra leftover and go underneath. And then take the pink comb, kind of smooth it out a little bit. And then, look up, Ross. I'm gonna take a very small section. The key to the boxer style braid is doing really little pieces rather than large pieces. The larger the pieces, the bigger the braids are gonna look, and that's not the style that we're trying to achieve. And then what I'm gonna do is, her hair is really thin, so it might look a little different on somebody that has more thick hair, but it's the same concept, so you're gonna do it the same way. So you take 3 pieces, section them, and the boxer style braid, you're gonna do the hair underneath. So you wrap it under the middle piece, and then you're gonna wrap this one under the middle. I like to do it one more time just for the beginning of it. And right now you can see that the middle piece is coming from this side. So you're gonna take your little pick and do a small section. And I try to just smooth it out a little bit with my hands. And you're gonna, again, gather these 2 pieces, the middle, and then you're gonna take this piece and pull it under the middle. And you're kind of pulling this tight as you go. The first couple pieces look a little messy, and then once you get your flow down, it's pretty easy. So again, small section. You're gonna go underneath, get those 2 pieces together, and then take this outside one and go underneath the middle again. Then you're gonna just keep going back and forth from each side, smoothing it out as you go underneath, and you're just gonna keep rotating it. Smooth it out, gather it with the middle, take this piece underneath. And I am not, you know, I've perfected it as far as the finished piece, but sometimes I have to restart and that's okay. You just kind of keep going. Grab it to the middle and then take this piece again. I hope you guys are kind of getting the concept. Gonna smooth that out, going underneath this top piece, and you just keep going. It's pretty easy because you're just going underneath, so you can't really mess it up. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a lot easier than French braiding because you just pull it underneath. And I think it's easier too to do it on someone else than it is on yourself. Bunch them together. Now that we're kind of like a little bit quarter ways down, you can start to see the braid coming together. And then as I go, if some of the hair starts to dry, I just like to keep it brushed out. And then once you get about halfway to the top of the head, you can have them not look up so straight. Like after this piece, I'll have her kind of look a little bit more normal. That way the braid is laying flat on the head and you don't get any more bumps that you don't want. So right here is where I'll kind of brush it a little. So right about here, I'll tell her that she can kind of look a little bit more normal. Got a little bit of tangles going on in here, so. See right here, like sometimes you get little pieces that sneak their way in there. You just kind of have to slow down and make sure you're kind of keeping it pulled tight as you gather each section. Once you kind of complete the crossover. There's a little bit of a bump right there, so I just kind of pull gently and tighten as I go, and then I'm gonna brush these out. And then as you get down towards the bottom, you kind of have to start using the brush to brush it up a little bit so that you don't get a bunch of bumps on the side. And the thing too with these braids, as you can see, it's kind of going down the middle of this section. Just threw my brush. You want to keep it down the middle rather than getting it close to the side of their hair. Tight. That's kind of what creates that boxer style rather than like a bohemian type braid. So I probably only have a couple more pieces until I'm ready to finish it off. And then when I get towards the bottom like this, I have her look down so that again it stays tight on the base of her head basically. And then I'll probably do one more small piece on this side. And then right here, let me see the brush, Ross. This last piece right here, you just want to make sure that it's smoothed out on this side. Gather it with that last middle piece and pull it tight. And then what you're gonna do here is just keep alternating going underneath. And I just do it a couple times past this part, and then you just kind of bunch it together and tie your elastic in. And I do hers pretty tight because she does sleep in them the night of competition. And that's it. And then for our style, we just let this air dry and then we curl it the next morning. I could have probably had a little bit more gel on this side. Her hair kind of started to dry, so you can use a spray bottle as well. But that's kind of the finished look. Okay, the last thing that I'd recommend is getting one of these silk caps from Amazon. I think it was under $15, and it will allow you to sleep in it at night and kind of keep all of the hair in one place to prevent any more flyaways from happening.